everybody, for joining us for today's Wabeek Lake Board hearing of assessment on April 10th. Could we please start with the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we'll start with calling the meeting to order and then a review of the posted meeting notices.
So concerning the meeting notices for hearing of assessments, we had to publish them twice in a newspaper that is distributed locally within the township. Notices were published 10 and 3 days prior to the meeting, so we're in accordance to that requirement. Additionally, notices were posted at the Township Hall, on the Township's website, and at the Water Resources Commissioner's office. And on March 28th, notices were mailed to all the residents that are within the SAD boundary.
And next we have public comment. Would anybody from the public want to come up and speak at the podium? No? Okay, I will close public comment. Next we have the business meeting minutes of May 24th. Unless there's any changes or comments, I'd look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Riparian Brody.
I'll support.
Support by J.C. Garrison. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That passes. Next, we have confirming the expenditures since last review of May 12th, 2023 to April 4th, 2024.
So in your packet are invoices that have come in to the clerk's office concerning the Wabeek Lake Board since its last meeting. All invoices are checked against contracts and the approved budgets and are reviewed by the lake riparian and the clerk. And there's nothing on the invoice list that is concerning or out of the ordinary.
Unless there's any questions or comments, I'd look for a motion to confirm.
Motion to confirm.
Motion by Riparian Brody.
Support.
Support by J.C. Garrison. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That passes. And next we have review the 2023 revenues, expenses, and fund balance report.
So this report was provided by the Township's accounting department. A final report will be completed next month. The accounting department is waiting on final invoices from the past fiscal year to be approved. But presently, the Township or the Lake Board had a surplus when you add the revenues and expenses, and the current reserve is $4,360.38.
Tom, which invoices still need approval? I know I've seen most of them.
I don't think it's concerning Wabeek Lake. It's for, I know, Forest Lake.
Okay, so not Wabeek Lake?
Yeah, but
Okay.
once all the lake boards are finished, they'll
So I've
release
done
them
my
all.
job?
Yes. you
Okay,
have.
thank you.
Nice job. So unless there's any, oh, sorry, that was just review. Any questions or concerns? No? All right, so we'll go on to reviewing and certifying the delinquent 2023 assessments to the assessor.
So every fall, the treasurer's office produces a report showing all the delinquent accounts for the lake board. Because the lake board doesn't meet on a regular basis, this matter is handled administratively, but it still needs to be presented to the lake board at its earliest meeting for certification.
So we only have 9.
Yes, only 9 for last year.
Was Raymond a repeat from the prior year?
I did not double check last year's report against this, but
And these are the ones that go to the township rolls for assessment of the tax bills?
yes, and then if they don't get paid, they get sent to the county.
Okay, thank you.
Some people actually choose to do these things on purpose, so it's not that they just write less checks during the year. We've had people reach out and from multiple road assessments, lake assessments, they just prefer to just pay it all on their taxes. So some of it's not that they're not wanting to pay, they're just waiting for that way that they do it.
Thank
We
you.
get more money from it too.
Yeah, they want to keep
We
their
get the fee.
interest going through the year and just pay it on their taxes, so.
Thank you.
In this case, it was $27.14.
Yeah.
It's bigger on other lakes.
All right,
Back.
so do we have any questions or concerns? If not, I'd look for a motion to certify.
Motion to certify.
Motion by Riparian Brody, support by Commissioner Gershenson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? That passes. And next, we have considered the adoption of the 2024 budget. Do you want to present?
Can I have it? Okay. Tom and Martin presented me with the potential budget. We took a look at last year's budget. We decided that we would continue to treat the lake for invasive plant species and pretty much perform the same public functions as we did in the prior year with respect to notices, et cetera. We have hired the same contractors. I believe the same contractors are giving us the same pricing for this year. Was that right, Tom? I know Progressive AE was the same price.
So with Progressive AE, there was the fish study.
Yeah, but that was additional.
Yes, it's going to be an additional 400 if they want to.
Right.
have this
I was going to
protected
get
year.
there.
Okay.
Okay. So most of the costs were the same. Because of the lawsuit in the prior year, we had to get officers and directors insurance. There is a question involving officers and directors insurance, which is, since I believe everybody here as a public official is governed by governmental immunity with respect to the lawsuit in the event that the Lake Board gets sued, and that I'm not a public official, but Jay Shaw was the riparian who got sued, and we therefore wanted to protect the non-public official from potential lawsuit, to make certain that the insurance policy this year only covers me as a non-public official not subject to governmental immunity, since all the others on this board have governmental immunity and don't need to be insured under that particular policy. So in that respect, we would just need to deal with that. Mark, would you know anything about that?
I was not involved in the negotiation with this. However, I think this type of insurance covers the board in general. It's not
Yes, there are.
person-specific. So I don't think, I'm not sure if the insurance company would accept that kind of a risk. I don't think it's part of their regular package. But in short, I don't believe it would save much, if any, money either, because I think the risk would still be about the same.
Okay, could you
if I'm
check?
understanding what you're
Could you
talking
check into that to?
Well,
We also,
Tom, did you look
can I
into
say,
this?
I mean, we also
He was
insured,
part with
Oh.
Jay.
just so that it's clear, I mean, as the clerk and the supervisor, we have insurance through the township. Sitting here, we are members of this lake board.
And Lake Board Chair, not the Township Supervisor.
Lake board chair, lake board treasurer, secretary, so it's the lake board that should be paying the insurance for this coverage. We had backup coverage through the township at the time of that lawsuit, but that isn't the first place that should be insuring this risk. We're here as the statutory provides, as members of this board, the same as the WIC, and this board should insure itself separately, and that's why it's designed this way, and the same with all the other lakes.
That helps to explain it. So in essence, you're here under a different fiduciary duty
Correct.
with respect to the potential liability.
Exactly.
Great, thank you.
I even signed differently, and he had to
Yes.
correct me for the first like 3 or 4 months of this term, where I would say to him, well,
Chairperson.
supervisor, he'd cross it out, make me sign it again. Like, we even signed different type, we are here as different people.
Thank you for the explanation. Which then gets us to the only increase between last year and this year is that we are requesting a fish study this year. The cost of the fish study is $4,000. Because of the insurance issue, we have to go about it in a different manner, in which there's a 10% fee on top of that, so that it'd be $4,400. The last fish study, my understanding, was 5 years ago on the lake. By my house, all of the pods where the bluegill laid their eggs were gone in the past 2 years. I believe the carp have eaten them all up. We want to basically make certain that the fish in the lake are balanced and are healthy again, as opposed to the fact that we've lost our bluegill population. So in that respect, we felt that it was important to get a fish study this year, and that's been approved in the budget. So I move for the current proposed budget to be approved. If somebody wants to read the dollars and cents numbers in it, that's fine.
The only other thing I'd like to make a friendly amendment to the motion, which is to also revise this document to remove contractor names and to authorize the chair to execute contracts in accordance with the contract, subject to legal review.
The reason that we take out that is like Cardinal used to do everybody's Phragmites. They are no longer doing business, so they had to hire others, and you have to actually physically go in and amend it if it says a name of another person. This just allows you to change as you need it.
procedure.
freedom.
Procedure, I would approve as a riparian. Do we need a motion on that?
Well, he's just
Your
asking, could
agreement
you
to
add
my-
that to your motion?
My friendly amendment to your motion.
Oh, I approve the amendment. If it's, we could
Thank
put it
you.
to a
So we have
vote.
a motion by Riparian Brody, support by J.C. Garrison. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass. Thank you always for putting these together for us, too. And next we have our hearing assessment. So first we have review the purpose of the hearing of assessment.
So the purpose of the hearing of assessment is to review, to hear objections to, and to confirm a special assessment role for the purpose of improving Wabeek Lake through weed harvesting and other chemical treatments for nuisance aquatic plants.
Very good. So next we have presentation of the Wabeek Lake assessment role.
So this is the assessment roll provided by the Township Assessor's Office. They pretty much added up the expenses of every year, and then they divided it evenly amongst all the individuals in the Lake Board in regards to their unit of benefits. Then you can see the totals below.
Unit of benefit being the difference between a riparian at a 1 unit and a
Somebody who has lake access.
And a lake access owner at that .25 benefit.
Hi, it's your sister.
Are there any questions or concerns on that? If not, I'd like to open up the public hearing for public comment. Again, if any public would like to come and speak at the podium, this would be a great chance.
Please, we won't bite.
We just bark. All right, we'll close the public comment. And next we have consider the approval of the resolution confirming the Wabeek Lake Special Assessment role. Anybody
Motion
have-
to approve.
Motion by Riparian Brody.
Support?
Support by J.C. Garrison. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That does pass. And do we have any new business from the riparian?
I think we approved it with the fish study.
All right. Any new business from the county?
No.
And then do you
And
want
I
to-
could just briefly mention we, as you're aware, that the township was pursuing with the Department of Natural Resources the approval to implement a local watercraft control, which included no motorboats, slow no wake speed, and restricted electric engines. Despite all of our efforts and the participation of many, many people, yourself included, to comment to the DNR, well, they did find the basis for a local watercraft control. They have only approved the watercraft control for the slow no wake speed. The Board of Trustees on Monday met, and the group asked the clerk, myself, to prepare ordinances for adoption of a slow no wake speed, which is all that we're allowed to do under the state law, and to come back at a subsequent meeting to consider the best strategy to continue our push to implement a no motorboat or no internal combustion engine ordinance. Presently, without the DNR's approval, we can't implement such an ordinance. And between now and the end of May, if the board approves, we'll have an ordinance in place for slow no wake speed, and we will have signs in place for implementation, when working with our local HOAs and condo boards, and we'll have a plan in place to address what appear to be the board's continuing interest to pursue the internal combustion engine angle, which may be an appeal or it may be a subsequent petition.
Question,
Maybe each lake, some want to, some don't, so it'll be each lake's kind of.
Question, Martin.
Exactly.
So Wabeek Lake currently is a very small lake. I think the only thing we got on there is one electric utility. Everything else is kayak, canoe, and rowboat. So it doesn't seem like there's any issues with respect to Wabeek Lake.
Right.
But we're near Upper Long Lake, where they do have a bunch of water skiers and other things like that. So is that ordinance with respect to no internal combustion engine being applied to that particular lake, affecting the water skiers that want to go on that lake?
Upper Long Lake is not included in that. Upper Long Lake is both in West Bloomfield and Bloomfield Township, and in neither township petitioned to change Upper Long Lake. It remains an all sports lake as it is now.
What about other lakes that
But the
we're
lower
currently,
island.
so those are going to be no wake now?
Correct.
Correct.
And if they want to be internal combustion, they got to protest or something?
If they want to add that, it will be part of an appeal or a subsequent petition.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah, you either appeal saying, we don't like your decision, think about it again, or you come back to them like West Bloomfield did with a brand new idea of why they didn't, maybe some wording we left out on the first one that we could try again. So Martin's gonna kind of go through and see what the best options are and present to the board on both of those.
Okay, thank you, Martin.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? I look for a motion to adjourn. Motion by Riparian Brody,
Second,
support by
second,
Corbett.
okay, I thought it was Martin's motion. I'll
All in
second.
favor?
I'll second.
Aye? All
Aye.
opposed?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.